Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play FIFA. Today we will be playing Versus Online mode while talking about colorism and sex, which really don't go together, but in this video they will. So two things, starting off with colorism. I just watched the trailer for The Hate U Give, or Thug, by Angie Thomas. I will admit that it was not my favorite book. I didn't really like the writing, and I wasn't really a fan of the storyline, but I felt like it had good intentions. The story is of a girl named Star who's growing up in kind of a violent neighborhood in the city, and her friend Khalil gets shot, and it starts this whole frenzy and movement of Black Lives Matter and protest and things that are happening right now in the world. And that's why I appreciate the book so much, because I feel like oftentimes authors create these fake worlds that we can't relate to. Even though I wasn't a fan of the book, like I said, I think the intentions were good, but I just watched the trailer for The Hate U Give, and I was disappointed because I saw that they had casted Amandla Stenberg. If you guys don't know, she's from Hunger Games, she's from Everything, and the girl on the front cover of The Hate U Give is dark skinned with curly afro hair, yet Amandla Stenberg is light skinned with nice braids, and I didn't understand. And Angie has commented many times about how she's unable to pick the casting and doesn't really have control in who gets casted for the films. But I feel like at the same time, she should have mentioned, like, hey, if there's a dark-skinned girl on the cover, there should be a dark-skinned girl cast in the film. And I guess it just kind of took me aback to see Amandla get casted when she's in movies that, aren't really about race. And this one is so heavily on race. And I don't know. I guess I don't understand, like, what possessed them to cast her. Maybe because she is a popular POC actress, but I feel like she shouldn't be casted in just the standard girl that should be casted in films about Black women. And then it kind of bothered me that Issa Rae has such a minor role in the film, yet she advocates for like with her show Insecure, she advocated for darker skinned women to be in these lead roles. And it's just something I don't really understand, and it just goes to show you that, white Hollywood is real and it's a thing, and Black women don't really have a chance when it comes to darker skinned Black women don't really have a chance when it comes to making it in Hollywood, and it's so disappointing. And I'm just kind of angered about who they casted for the film. I think I'm not disgusted, and I like Amandla as an actress, but I honestly think the casting, it could have been better. Honestly, they could have casted, I don't know, anybody else but Amandla, because her roles are very cookie cutter, very sweet, very, like, not about race and real issues. Like, the last film I saw her in was Everything, and she fell in love with a white male. So it's just, I don't know, I just don't understand, like, what possessed them to cast her as Star. And Star is such a potent character, and to have Amandla play her is just kind of a slap in the face to me as a reader. I don't know, it's not my film, it's not my book. Angie Thomas probably, is grateful that it is being turned into a film, but I don't think that Amandla should have been casted. Unfortunately, I can't think of any actresses off the top of my head that I think would be a good fit, because there's not a lot of dark-skinned teen actresses out here. But yeah, I don't think Amandla should have been casted. But going into round 2 of FIFA, we're gonna switch gears a little bit and talk about sex and intimacy. And I wrote a post about this on my blog, and I think there's a certain stigma with sex, particularly in college. I think people perceive sex in college to be this kind of like rite of passage thing, like, oh, I'm gonna be an adult, like, if I have sex or if I lose my virginity in college. And I think that should be the media to blame for that, because every movie you see about college, it's like about, sex and drugs and alcohol and partying it up, and it's just not the not the wave, not the move. And I personally don't really engage in sexual acts, because I feel like sex should be a thing where it's something sacred, something between two people that is I don't want to say magical, but it shouldn't be something that's just tossed around, or because sex is you're literally giving a part of yourself to somebody else, whether you believe it or not. But sex is the exchange of emotions and feelings, and it's not just physical. Sex is a big deal, and I don't think it should be something that's taken for granted. But in today's society, where we're so focused on sex and being sexy and selling sex on Instagram, it's just kind of sad to see where our society is heading, where sex kind of is the focal point of music, culture, magazines, movies. And I'm not afraid to say that I don't have a lot of sexual partners. I don't really engage in a lot of sex. Honestly, I don't really have that much interest in sex. I think sex should be used for, for pleasure, but like the whole point of sex is for procreation and just kind of to, have that be something for fun, or like an activity. I don't know, something to pass the time. It's just not my spiel, not my niche, my I don't really know the word. It's not my thing. I think people are often very quick to give that part of themselves up to people. It's so easy to get caught up in oh, I have to have sex with this person to make them stay in my life, or and I don't think that should be the case. Sex should be based off of if you really love someone and you really know them. I think people should wait at least a year to have sex with somebody. Like, sex should not be right off the bat. I don't particularly agree with hooking up, but that's just my personal opinion. I know there are some people that enjoy casual sex, but I personally don't think sex should be casual. Nothing about sex should be casual, But that's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's nasty for people who are sexually active or having casual sex. I just say be safe, just be safe, and just be smart, honestly. So we're going to go in for another round of FIFA. So far, I'm doing pretty okay in FIFA. I've been making goals, so that's all that matters. And if you guys do want to add me on FIFA, my name is Whoop-de-Whoop. But before I started, I guess, online dating or whatever, I was kind of scared, to be honest. I thought that, it was, it's like, oh, it's not real because of catfish people. And then I kind of met somebody cool online. So, oh my gosh, I hate these goalies. So now I don't really feel the same way about online dating or meeting online. I think it's fun and it's kind of safe for those who, are introverted or a little bit shy, like myself. It's easy because you don't really have to, face that person. It's not like on the first date where it's like, ooh, like, what are they going to think about me? You just have to send a message and start a convo and see where things go from there. And I actually don't really mind, dating apps. I don't use Tinder because it's kind of sketchy. I use Bumble. So far my experience has gone good. The guy's really nice. I've actually met him in person. And, so there's my experience with online dating. But it is easy to kind of be blind to the signs when it comes to online dating, if he doesn't really reply back, or if he's not really telling you about his life, or I think that's like a clear sign that, oh, maybe this is not real. But if he's open and honest, go for it. I did watch Catfish a couple of times, and the one episode I watched, we're going in for another round. I think this will be the final round. The episode I watched, the girl, she wasn't really being like catfish. Like, the person was real, but he was just kind of like a liar. So, which is kind of scary, especially if that's your first impression of dating or you haven't dated in a while. But I just say be safe. And with anything in this life, in this world, just be safe and be careful. I mean, and have some value for yourself, value yourself. There's no one else that's like you, and don't just throw yourself away for men, for women, for friends, for parents, for spouses, You are a sacred person, and you shouldn't toss yourself away for sex, money, or anything. And there's only one of you, honestly, and once that one self is gone, you don't really have a choice. You can't really get it back. It's not like you can redeem it like a gift card and you have some stuff left over. It's just kind of like, you only get what you get, and that's it. But yeah, I'm gonna be a senior this year in college. I'm kind of nervous, kind of scared, because I don't really know what to expect. I don't really know what to go in. Everything's changing. Everything changes senior year. That kind of like nice little safety net you used to have when you were a freshman and sophomore is kind of gone, and you're just kind of out there in the real world. And staying on the topic of men and sex is just kind of a little bit scary, because going outside of that realm of making connections with those in your college neighborhood and going out into the real world and experiencing what people are really like and, intentions and stuff. It's kind of daunting, but I'm ready for it. So that's going to be the end of today's episode. I did pretty good. I have 55,000 coins. So, woo-woo. If you guys have any comments about colorism or sex or identity or whatever, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, check out my posts about sex, identity, dating apps in the description box below. I'm also reading Love, Simon right now, which a book I'm so obsessed with. But yeah, if you also read Love, Simon, let me know. And yeah, just wait for next week's episode. Peace.